everybody, and welcome. My name is Ursa, and look at this very hilly, jungly start. Something a little bit different today, something that isn't A to Z. I fancied a little bit of a break from A to Z, and I have some achievements to get. Today, we are going to be playing as Inca. Now, I've been meaning to do some achievement hunting for some time, and Civ 6 has some very specific and very difficult achievements hidden through it. For instance, if you haven't seen my recent video where we took on the Trans-Siberian Railway as Russia, that was an infuriating hair-pulling exercise, but we did it and there was a way to do it. It got me thinking, there can't be too many more of these challenges, right? Too many more of these Steam achievements that are that difficult to get? Well, there certainly are, and today, we're going to be taking on this one, Po-tay-toes. As Pachacuti, construct a terrace farm that is adjacent to 2 aqueducts and 4 mountains. This is a deceptively difficult achievement, just purely because of the awkwardness of the map and how things spawn. Luckily for you, if you come along to Discord and copy and paste this save file into your computer, you can play along with me because I've got a map where this is possible. That's right, Ursa does the hard work, so you don't have to. But you're thinking, Ursa, come on, that's an awkward achievement, but that's not necessarily difficult to get. Well, we're going to be doing 3 others at the same time, just to give us a little bit of extra spice. And yes, I appreciate some of these I should have got before this point, but I'm not really an achievement hunter, I just play, well, oh, I shouldn't say that, I really don't. I play randomly. My whole thing is just random play, making it up on the edge of my pants, my smelly, unwashed pants, and we just sort of do this differently every time. So there's a few achievements to get, including Selfie. Win a regular game with a culture victory with your leader in the game as your opponent as well. Well, just to make this game a little bit hard, this is a game with 6 Incas in. So I am one of 6 Incas. Every AI is also playing Inca. So yeah, those mountains are going to be heavily competed with. I'm also going to take on these 2, Finder's Fee and Frenemies. Ransom 5 units from Barbarian clans in a single game, and hire, bribe, incite, and raid the same Barbarian clan. To do that, we're playing Deity, Standard Speed, Barbarian clans, and this, as you're expecting with a map with 6 Incas on it, is, as you can see, a blank map. No, it's a Highland map, and these are the details. This is what you need to put into your game to play it. There are no gameplay changing mods today. A raw, passionate game of Civ 6, as the developers intended, maybe. You know what? Let's just jump straight in. But before we get started today, a quick update on something concerning. Here is Ursa. Ursa was unfairly expelled from Oxford University's Civ 6 program. Ursa now has 30,000 signatures, and with that, magical powers were bestowed upon him to see the invisible. And Ursa noticed something. An invisible, kind, helpful man. A man called Paul. Don't let Ursa be distracted by the terrible spy Paul. Help Ursa focus on Sankor. Will you subscribe today? Thank you, and back to the video. Turn 1, I am greeted by a whole host of grassland hills, which are kind of the worst for me. There is, however, Plains Hill over there. Now, it's a little bit of 6 and 2 3s, or as my esteemed channel supporters would call it, it could be also 3 13s and a 39. If I move 1 tile over to the left, I'll be settling on top of a Plains Hill. That will have the advantage for me of giving my capital an extra production. However, we will pop away from this banana tile, so I will lose a food. Do I want to start with 5 food and 3 production, or 4 food and 4 production? Well, longer term, I'd actually prefer it if my capital was slightly closer to the mountains, because of course, Inca does things with mountains. Domestic trade routes gain 1 food for every mountain tile in the origin city. So, what you do is you settle a city right in the middle of tons and tons of mountains, and then you send domestic trade routes to that city. And by that, I mean totally the opposite. You send it from that city. I was thinking that, it wasn't a Tokugawa situation. Inca is more of a Magnus. Sorry, not a Magnus situation. A Pingala. Dear oh dear, I've lost it this morning. It's a Pingala situation. So, the city with the mountains, you send the trade routes from that city, and it's from the origin city. That's where the food comes from. So, if my capital had 10 mountains in it, for instance, my internal trade routes would have 10 food. Inca specialize in making rather chunky, large capital cities and other big cities around the mountains, which is good. Mountains themselves provide production and can be worked, which is wonderful, and combine that with the terrace farm, which is like a regular farm. You can only build it on hills. It gives you 1 housing rather than half the housing, so that in itself is amazing. It gives you 1 production if adjacent to freshwater and 2 production if adjacent to an aqueduct. That is often slept on, but as you build them, the mountains around them also gain food. So basically terrace farms and mountains. That's what we want to be doing today. I have a rather fun, unique recon unit, which is about as exciting as it sounds, and I have an improvement where I can do some wonderful things with builders. I can put these sort of mountain tunnels down from the ancient era and navigate around my land really quickly. That's really cool. However, because you start in mountains all the time, the Incans are really well adapted to science victories. I think I've gone for a science victory most times I've played the Inca. That's not what we're going to be doing today. We're going to be doing totally the opposite. We're going to go for a culture victory, but this is a sort of culture victory that might come with a bit of science, and it will definitely come with a little bit of expansion and war, because to get the achievement Po-tay-toes, we need to find a tile that will allow a terrace farm, so it's got to be a hill, and it's got to have 4 mountains around it and 2 aqueducts. There is only 1 formation in the game that I know of that will allow that, and that is 2 straight lines of mountains that are long enough to have hills in the middle of them. It's very particular. Luckily though, I know that this map has one. And yes, it took a lot of restarts. A lot of restarts. Oh look, my capital is not called my capital. It's like there are 6 Incas in this game. Yep, it's gonna get very messy. So there you can see the workable mountain. I am always tempted in such games to go for a builder first because we're playing Inca. We can produce a couple of 3-2 tiles. However, I also want scouts out really quickly. So it's whether or not building 2 scouts is better than building 1 builder. I'm going to suggest building 2 scouts is better than 1 builder because it's a Highlands map, it's very landlocked, it should be absolutely fine. Religion-wise, I think I'm probably going to adopt somebody else's religion rather than claiming my own today. I know that campuses and holy sites work really well around mountain tiles, but I want to put my terrace farms around the mountains to make them even better. There's only a few tiles I'm going to have, like for instance this tile, which is a flat land around mountain. That is a district tile, but that's also protected by rainforest. We don't want to have to fight with that just yet. So I think, yeah, we're going to be focusing on going for culture. Let's unlock animal husbandry, then I'll unlock iron. We'll see what different resources we have around us. We can go from there. I don't need to rush granary. The terrace farms will help me out with all the food that I could need, but bronze working is going to be really important because I've got so much rainforest around me. Yeah, we're going to need to get rid of that very quickly. Oh look, a barb camp. Now we've got to hire 5 units, or ransom 5 units from barbarian clans in a single fee. Ransoming is not hiring or bribing. That is different. Ransoming is when you lose a unit to the Barb clan and you have to pay for it back. So we're not going to do it with this one. This Barb clan is going to be something we're probably going to just chill with. And by chill, I mean destroy it in fire. My first scout, by the way, I'm going to send them out to the right. I'll send the other one out probably south. Now we're going to take on this Barb clan as quickly as we can to stop it from raiding me. I want to put a builder out as quickly as possible. I don't like barbarians around me when builders are out and about. We found a culture city-state and a military city-state, by the way. So I'm getting 1 production extra on my scouts, which is lovely. And I'm working with bananas tile now, which is good. That's a 3-2 tile. It's a really good tile, that. 1 more scout. Joyous, got barbarians appearing from the other direction. Now, this is going to be a very heavy barb map. Highlands maps always have lots of barbs. They're just like that. It's one of those sort of style of things. I'm going to disperse the clan. We're not going to try and get the achievements just yet. I'm just going to get rid of this barb clan. That's great. Irrigation. Not the best for me, but never mind. I do have horsies. Ooh, horsies. Now, just to make sure my capital grows, we're going to go with those 2 scouts. I'm going to get 1 builder, and then I'm going to start to settle. Make my way down to mining first. And here is my first tribal village. 1 builder unit. Well, there you go. That solves that problem. Instead of going straight for settler then, I want to let my population tick over to 3. I found it recently very helpful in high food starts to let your city get to 3 pop before getting the settlers. Don't know, just preference. But if I want to get my monument, that'll help me to get to craftsmanship, foreign trade, and more importantly to drama and poetry as quickly as possible. Oh, the scout is just going to attack me. I think that might have been the scout of the tribal, the barbarian clan that I just killed. Let's get discipline. I know people like me getting the scout promotion, but I don't want it. I'm going to actually use my scouts to fight first. And then I think even if it steals my builder, my scout is strong enough to steal it back. I'm just going to gamble with that. It's probably not very sensible. So we'll get the terrace farm sorted. Gives me 1 food for the farm, 1 production because it's on fresh water, it's on the river, and it gives 1 food to the mountain tile around it, as well as giving me 1 housing. And in addition, because there's a mountain, it gives me an additional food. It's just such a good tile improvement. Getting that early builder as Inca is very, very, very important. Let's go craftsmanship. We can improve 3 tiles very easily. Nope, it just suicided into me. It just suicided into me. Okay, sometimes you just have to respect that the barbarians are going to do what they want to do. It makes no sense. Just smile and wave. Second terrace farm. This one won't get the additional food. It'll just be on a 3-2 tile. But look at that. I've got some brilliant tiles for me to work now, including the bananas. That's 3 5-yield tiles or more. And look at that. We found Pachacuti. Let me just tell you now, this is going to get confusing. There's going to be a lot of the same person. And yeah, this is going to be a bit of a problem. And I'll show you why in a second. It's a problem because of this. Look at this. 2 lines of mountains with enough space in the middle of them to get a hill tile. It means I can put a terrace farm on that tile and go 1, 2, 3, 4 surrounding mountains. And then, because it's a straight line of mountains, I have the space to aqueduct and then aqueduct. There are the 6 tiles. And then basically it's either one of these 2 to stick the city on. As you can see, this is where it's a bit of a problem, or one of these 2. So yeah, I think what we'll do is we'll aim to settle there and we'll aim to settle there. But this Inca has settled a city way too close to this formation. This is the only formation I know of where this achievement is possible. So in order to do it, we're going to have to take over one of the other Incas and still get a culture victory. So this is where the combination of challenges is going to be a little trickier than we would normally find. We've got population 3. I have another tile down to the south that can get worked for some really, really good stats. But what we're going to be doing now is going for a settler. Once I get mining, I know that I've got some horses. I could actually go horseback riding. That would be relatively decent. Get me a couple of horsemen to go and attack other Inca with. I'm still a little bit undecided as to whether an early game or a late game war is the better option here. Tempted to say earlier game, and the thing is I've got to actually destroy a city. I can't even take it over because it's going to block my settling path. It's a really, really particular angle that has to be used here. Very annoying indeed. Now let's get bronze working quickly. I like the sound of bronze working just because it'll give me some iron and that'll help me to find myself. Also, because this is a landlocked map, it's a highland map, there's no big ocean, I'm sending 1 scout out in one direction and 1 in the other to try and circumnavigate the globe. It always makes a lot of sense to do that where you can. We're going to jump on state workforce as well, build a specialty district, that's fine. What I would like to do is quickly get my governor. Oh, I just changed over. I've still got God, King and Discipline. I don't think I actually wanted to change there, so that's fine. Now, luckily for me, the city in question is going to be fairly weakly defended. Looks like they're going for a bit of a science Inca start. That's good and bad, really. Oh, look, it's Inca. Funny that. They're up in this direction. Okay, we want to be generally friendly with all of the Incas we find, but early game, I don't want to be sending delegations left, right, and center. It costs too much. This will also show you a little bit of what I was talking about. Look, 4 mountains surrounding a single tile, so you could put a terrace farm down there, but it's impossible to aqueduct both in both directions because the cities would have to be too close to each other. It has to be a very particular formation to make this work. First settle out, and I'm actually going to go and settle onto this tile. It's a little bit of a weird first settle, I appreciate. No fresh water, but Inca doesn't mind about fresh water. We really don't mind about fresh water. We'll find it later. Terrace farms will basically cover up any freshwater sin we could possibly find ourselves in. Although saying that sort of ruins that one. So, okay. Green Inca are going to be a problem. We're going to have to do something about them. It's fine. We sort of knew that would happen as it was. Okay, let's have a look at other places we can settle. This seems like a very attractive place to go and settle because it's got an amazing tile next to it. Check that out. Look at that. Oh, it'll be a really good terrace farm. If I were to settle there, though, it wouldn't give me too much terrain to then work off. So I'm thinking maybe that's not that good an idea. I'd probably be squishing myself down a little bit. The city-state's placement is a tiny bit awkward there. Should go there instead. If I settle on top of that plains hill, I'd still have access to some good tiles. Or I could go for the flatland. It's a little bit close to my capital, but it would allow me some better workable tiles, namely the terrace farms. Choices. Lots of choices. Always choices with Inca. Another builder in a tribal village. Nice. Actually, that gives me loads of options. Bronze working is still kind of lurking. It hasn't really done anything for me at the moment, but give myself a quarry. That will give me a couple of boosts, which will be nice. Yeah, I'm going to go and settle down there. It's fine. I'm having to use this warrior to head left because my scout got hit by an eruption and it slowed it down massively, but I really want to circumnavigate the globe. I want to find everyone. It's basically the only way I can guarantee that I get a golden age this time around. And here is the quarry. Masonry boosted. Lovely. Do I want to hang around and try and kill 3 barbarians? I'm going to have to just probably work through bronze working, which is a little bit frustrating, but never mind. Okay, settler number 3 has been finished just as I put down city number 2. I've got 190 gold, and I don't want to sell any horses really to green Inca. That would be problematic for me. But I'm wondering whether or not I want to sacrifice a couple of these mountain tiles to put a couple of campuses down, just for some latent science per turn. I do want to be able to throw a couple of units at this Inca. I think maybe waiting to horses like bronze working. You know, I will go archery, horseback riding. We're going to get Pingala soon. Soonish. You know what? If you've got such a good population in your capital and it's letting you chuck this many settlers out, like, who am I to argue? I mean, I could now start warrior rushing. That is an alternative plan. Discipline is giving me something, but a Gogi I'm going to unlock next turn. I could do that, or I could slinger rush into archers to go and get an early kill here. It's very, very hilly, very jungly terrain, so archers are not going to be super effective. Equally though, only 175 army. I've seen Inca have a lot more of that early game. So I think I've just got to commit. Either I go for iron or I go for bronze. Go for iron or horses. What do I want? Swords or horse? I think horse, probably. We'll commit to that. So, okay, let's go slingers then. I'm going to build a couple of slingers rather than I think 3 cities should be fine. We're a little bit stuck on other fantastic places to go and settle. I could go and settle down towards Akkad. It's not really near any mountains, but Inca doesn't need mountains to do well. As long as you've got hills, my terrace farms can still do well on rivers. I guess I could head north, see what's in that direction. I don't like sending unescorted settlers down any more than I can. Oh, great. Okay, this barb encampment might stop me from getting the golden age, actually, because I've just managed to run into this one. I can hire an archer from them, though, for 143 gold. That's not bad. Gives me something to fight barbarians with. I'm going to do that, yeah. Sod it. Why not? And instead, I'm going to make a hasty retreat with this scout and just see what we can go and find. Maybe this scout will make it all the way around the earth in the other direction. Who knows? Oh, bye-bye. That was unexpected and disturbing. Everything just died immediately. Discipline, nope, get rid of that. A Gogi time. And now these slingers are going to get pumped out. Beautiful. I'm just going to chop down this wood to put another terrace farm there. But the fact that you get another slinger as well is always really good. One more terrace farm. Bam. So this city can now get to 6 population before the tiles wear out, which is brilliant. Housing is up to 9. Yeah, my capital shouldn't have any problems growing at all now. Looks like there's a reef here. That would give me a little bit of a decent campus, but having this gulf is kind of a bit annoying. I wanted more mountains to the north of me, but alas, no more mountains that I can see. Well, there might be a river to my north, though. Hang on, let's go check that out. Maybe there's something to play off here. Oh, look, it's Inca. Fancy that. Oh, there's directly to the north of me. I'm going to be settling towards another one. Never mind. At some point, if you have a map full of Incas, you're going to annoy an Inca. That's the wisdom here. State workforce. I have 25 faith now. Unbelievably, that worked out perfectly. So urban planning. Going to replace God King with urban planning. That'll be nice. And there's probably somewhere better to settle just to my north. So we're going to go and see what we can find there. Oh, tribal hut. And in you go, Pingala. I'm going to need as much science as I can out of my cities because I do not have any campuses right now, and I probably won't be getting them anytime soon. Early Empire will get boosted next turn, which is good. And Nadal. Wow, we have a bunch of culture city-states today. That is good for somebody looking to go for a culture victory. Now, what pantheons have been taken? Fertility rights? That's always good with Inca, because you get a free builder, but then city growth rate 10% higher in all cities. I mean, if I'm doing nothing but generating food, that's really handy. God of the Forge, though. Ancient and classical military units. That would allow me to get the early game rush on this Incan Empire. Oh, that could be useful. I've got to take over 2 cities to make this work, so I mean, these cities are just going to get huge. There's some amazing terrace farms already powering them on. Yeah, maybe Maybe just the early game rush. That could be what I need to do today. Let's do it. God of the Forge. Ancient and classical military units. I wouldn't normally do this. This is totally an AI move, but hey, we like going for slightly different strategies every now and then. I switched to warriors, by the way. Just thinking in terms of what I want to support. Like lots and lots of archers is really good fun, but I want the combination. I'm also going to think about settling not on the hill. The reason for that is because if I settle on a hill over in this direction, yes, my city would get one more production, but I would be able to build one less terrace farm. Difficult. Yeah, I'm going to settle on this flat tile. It feels right to me. Feels right. Another recon unit. Hey, recon. That's something I definitely needed more of. And bronze working. I managed to get a barb kill. So there we go. Do I have any iron? What is my iron situation like? I do have iron. Oh, I've got iron underneath each terrace farm. That is frustrating. Okay, well, swordsmen are probably not for me because I don't want to remove these terrace farms. The fact that these tiles are now getting me to science is really handy. That would be so much food I'd be having to give up for my capital though, and I'd rather have Pingala there. That's annoying. Of all the places you could have gone, that feels like a bad result for me, but never mind. Oh, a city has just appeared to my north there. So this is a good time to settle that. And look, there are mountains just north of me actually, so that's not bad either. Go for a quick monument. My military though, it may just be a military of warriors, but it is a military. Nobody can argue otherwise. It's a thing. Oh, barbarian archer. Fun. 9 turns. Oh, I've got so much era score I still need. This scout is doing its absolute best. But the map is not helping. Look at that. I can't advance with that. Oh, I've got a long way to go. Yeah, that would be far too much to do in 9 turns, isn't it? Ugh, fine. I am, by the way, looking out for other areas where the achievement might be possible, and this technically would be one as well. So they do exist. They're really hard to spot, but once you spot them, once you get your eye in, you can spot them every now and then. That is literally halfway around the world from me though, but there is some good land between me and it, so maybe do we try the early war, and if it doesn't work we just sort of back off? I don't know at this point. Yeah, so this is the thing, right? Green Inca, 58 science per turn. They've got campuses, they've got Etamananki, they're going nuts. They are going absolutely nuts. They are probably the worst of all of the Incas that I could have decided to go to war with. This could be down as what we would like to call a terrible idea. Oh, my scout, even though it was retreating and it should be faster, it got caught and killed. That's a little bit worrying, but never mind. One more Inca. I've only got to find one more, and I have in theory found everyone, which would give me, it'll put me up to 21 era score, and then all I'd have to do is put a mountain tunnel down. So that's another way of doing this. Just finding the last Inca. Yeah, their defense is massively increasing really quickly. I don't know if we're going to be able to do this. This is going to be really tight. I'm wondering whether or not I bail on this plan and just go for the settle plan. It would require me settling so far away though. We're going to have to just change my strategy hugely and go for just a raw settler strategy. I've got a CAD. CAD would help me do that. We could try loyalty pressure, flip the cities and then raise them like that. That's not a bad idea. If I commit to doing that, I'm going to have to settle in a couple of places near them and then just go for it. Yeah, we've received a lot of these sort of messages. Inca are masters of the mountains. Okay, cool. Quick question. Which Inca are you talking about here? Let's get political philosophy down and sorted quickly. Pingala, beautiful. You know, actually, I'd like to get a government going quickly. Classical Republic has been taken by a couple. Let's just go connoisseur quickly in order to just go 12.8. Am I going to get this government? I should get the government before the era ends because this monument will finish. 17 strength. It is, yeah, they've got a spearman out, which is a little bit annoying. Well, this map is proving very difficult to navigate. There's so many of these little lakes stopping me from getting anywhere. Yeah, I'm not going to get the circumnavigation. This is terrible. The only thing I might do is meet the other Inca. Yes, I am going to declare a war on you. What I've decided to do is basically just see how this goes, and then we'll kind of reassess. Hang on, now, who else have they met? They've met this Inca. Who is that Inca? I don't know. This one. Do you want to join in? Yeah, they do. Perfect. Okay, there's 2 of us in on this same Inca now. That's good. We have this little conga line of warriors. I don't think this is going to necessarily be enough here, but we'll give it a good go. Oh, these barbarians are proving really annoying. How are we going to do here? No army yet. That's both good and slightly worrying. They have 200 strength somewhere. I don't know where that strength is, but it is somewhere. Oh man, this map, it's blocking me on every turn. It's incredible. 20 strength cities. I think that means that the war chariot is out, heavy chariot, right? So that's probably something to be a little bit concerned about. But I can get some good attacks of my warriors. I'm going to get oligarchy next turn. So what I'm going to do first is give myself horseback riding and a bit of gold. That means I can now buy in a horseman, 320 gold. I don't know if I'm going to do that I might do it next turn just so that it fits into the next era. Because I'm sneaky like that. I'm very sneaky like that. Okay, cool. Yeah, we're going to just... No... We could have got the Golden Age. I feel like with a couple of better scouts, like if this scout hadn't got killed, I would have circumnavigated the globe and it would have been absolutely fine. Political philosophy. There is oligarchy. Let's give myself the extra combat strength from warriors. We've got a Gogi. We've got urban planning. I've got settlers. I'm pumping those out still because I'm going to go in the other direction just in case this doesn't work. And let's go for conscription. Now I can go for horsemen, which gives me the first horse unit. Nice. Everyone's in a Golden Age except me. That seems about right. And we'll go pen, brush, and voice because I'm likely to get great work slot buildings at some point soon. And now we can put on El Squeezo. 1, 2, 3, like that. And okay, we should be able to take the city and destroy it next turn. Military tradition, that'll give me a little bit more strength. Got a settler that will come in and you know what? Yeah, we're just committing to this strategy now. We're going to try and settle that. So this city needs to die and this city needs to die. We also have a Barb clan that will give me a swordsman. The turn I take this city, I want to have 200 gold available to me if I can, ideally, which I should be able to just about do. Anyone want to buy my open borders as well? Yeah, look at that. Perfect. Loads of gold. Military tradition. Great general points. Anyone getting great general points? No, no one really is. This could be the early game advantage I've been looking for. Settlers and then strategos. 1 attack, 2 attack. Go into there. City sieged. Got all the time in the world now. We take the city. There is military engineering, gives me the boost for the aqueduct. There's no way in hell I'd ever keep that city. It's not the point though. We're going to hire the swordsman, which will appear in this city now. Now I can raise it to the floor and we move our units forward a little bit. Okay, actual army now. That is no fun. That is far stronger than anything we want to deal with. Oh, we're going to have to let them attack me, ideally. These heavy chariots, these catapults. Catapults hard to kill, but the archers should pick them apart pretty easily. In theory as well, we don't need to destroy both cities at the same time. We could come back and destroy the city a little bit later. We've now got a lot of area that we could go and settle and put the population squeeze on and then loyalty pressure later. It's all about giving yourself as many options as you can in Civ, making sure you don't close any doors for as long as you can get away with it. Every other Inca now hates us, so yeah, a lot of doors closing right now, but it's okay. A card, melee and anti-cavalry unit attacks do full damage to city walls. I'll take that. That's really cool. Cad's only got warriors, but it is an option in case we want to go and attack with those sort of units a little bit later. Drama and poetry vote. We can get our theatre squares sorted very soon. Yay! Settler complete. Let's go and settle where we needed to. That looks beautiful. And yep, we'll pick up a second one. Just pumping these settlers out now. Whoa, that's a crossbow. That is a crossbow. Okay. Yeah, we may not have much luck against crossbows. I think that even for us, that's pushing it. Okay, we can make peace in 1 turn. Everyone retreat. Everyone retreat. We'll come back. We'll come back later. I feel like this is fine. This is just we did all we could. We've got a couple. I'm gonna get pillage out of this. Yeah, that's why not. But we've freed up some space to make 1 city. We can generate peace in a second, and we can just come back. Look our wounds. Come back later. We'll use the old loyalty bomb to get everything we want to now. And Garzagamu. Oh, perfect. Yeah, this is really now pushing itself towards a good settling game. It's always another strategy later on. Always an alternative strategy. There's another swordsman I could hire. That would be pretty decent. With crossbow defenses, all they've got to do is stick a wall up and suddenly like I would just be useless. I wouldn't be able to scratch these walls. Exchanging capital idea is great. That's the last Inca. We've met everyone now, which is good. Minus 37. Oh yeah, people really don't like this war. Strangely, they really don't like the war. I'm tempted to get shipbuilding just for quality of life, but I'll get writing instead for now. Like so. Beautiful. Currency and peace. Yay, they're willing to give me peace. Oh, actually, they're willing to pay quite decent money for peace. Speaking of, will you give me this city? No, they're not. Okay, it was worth a try. Sometimes they will give you a city. Not often, but sometimes they will. Peace. Beautiful. So we pull back, we settle around them, we just be an economic nightmare on their civilization. I think that's the only fair way of doing this, right? Let's now just be friends with the world. Sell our diplomatic favor, sell our open borders of anybody that wants it. We'll start to buy things like builders. I'll start to settle out. This will be great. Theatre squares, get the culture up. That's actually the first wonder we found all game. That's incredible. If we have a look at the settler lens now, this is difficult. That's a -3, but we can do that. We'll put this city down, and then we've got access over to this direction, and then we can just really put the squeeze on. What we're aiming to do is jump into a medieval golden age whilst green hits a dark age, and then we'll put the pressure on. I think this is perfect. If that doesn't work, we can always come back with a larger army later. A larger army with great generals. So drama and poetry is a thing now. Good. Means I could start to get great writer points per turn instead of general points, but I think I want a single general. Boudica. My Norfolk boy in me just is like, no, you've got to get the Queen of the Iceni. Granada? Okay, yeah, but there's loads of settling opportunity here. Loads of settling opportunity. Actually, what we'll do is we'll change government. We're going to change to Classical Republic now. Settlers are good. Urban planning is good. And then Diplomatic League. Let's get all this set up. Okay, cool. So we are now starting to do the beautiful thing of putting theatre squares down in various cities, which is lovely. We're going to get a nice sort of combination of stuff. I reckon if I put another theatre square on that tile, is that worth doing? No, we'll put it on this tile, and then I can entertainment complex this one later, and water park this one. So random little setups. I've got a theatre square going down there. That's looking good. But otherwise, we're chopping out everything we want. Look at this. Everything is sort of going nicely for me at the moment. Let's get this theatre square done quickly as well. And here is City 4. Let's squeeze Washington. Hey, we've already run out of Incan names. Too many Incas on the map. It's fine. Don't even worry about it. We're all good. We're all good. I'll go for a city there. I'll also go for a city there. A little bit later on, as I said, we're going to squeeze into land that is not my own for now. Get a builder out. In fact, I need to change my government around a little bit. I don't want settler card anymore. I want the builder card. Oh, the barbarians have coursers and also crossbows at the moment. So, like, if I find an enemy scout or anything, I'm just like, no, I'm dead. That is it. That's me gone already. Scouting around this map is proving tricky. I need to go and, yeah, I'm thinking now of just sort of putting a settler train up to the right of my empire, but there's a lot to settle. I think we're committing to green. I set this out as my sort of initial plan. I kind of want to stick with it for as long as I can. I feel like this is sort of, for me, the better route, but we'll see. We'll see. We could go anything. I circumnavigated the globe, by the way, so we're now on 27 turns, and I only need 8 era score to get that golden age. Look at all these theatre squares popping down as well. Oh, that'll help. My land's looking pretty decent, actually. I know my raw yields aren't quite there, but the basic setup of what I'm being able to put down now is really, really kind of coming together. I don't have any iron. That is a problem. My swordsman isn't able to heal at the moment, but nobody's selling any, and I really don't want to dig up the iron I've got because these tiles are just too good on my capital, but we'll kind of... I know you're the Masters of the Mountains. Go away. Literally, they say that every turn. It's like, please, just come up with something different. Somebody's going for great writers. Ideally, all I want is for all 5 classical era writers to get picked. I don't really care who picks them and who doesn't. So I've just split these 2 cities off to getting a couple of settlers whilst my capital sorts itself out. I'm not far off being able to swing Pingala over to like this city and then put Magnus in to sort of really start to spray settlers out a bit quicker. I always find this little bit of the early game is always really funny because you're sort of balancing whether to expand or improve what you've got, or you kind of end up getting torn between about 5 separate ideas and you never kind of get one that sort of works. But I think for now we're doing okay. I've got to get the government plaza down soon though. I really do. I kind of wanted to chop this tile out to do that. Fine. Let's go for barracks or stable. Not going to use horses. Let's be fair. Barracks is cheaper. Lets me settle quicker. That one barracks building is already worth 2 extra production when building settlers. Like, it's all about stacking these multipliers up. I could, because this is ocean as well. This is coast. I could pop Kilwa down on this tile, which would mean that I would have 30% extra settling capacity, which would give me huge capacity to expand onto this map. I like that. I like that a lot. There's Boudica though. Okay, we have options. We can go to war if we want to again. I always like having one great general. I don't need any more than that. Writers for now, settlers is good, urban planning is good, but builders would be quite useful as well. No, we'll save that for now. I think that's okay. Let's now put Magnus in charge of my capital. That's gonna, it's just a little bit of a pain doing that, but then Pingala, you go down to this city quickly. Defensive tactics is good. We need feudalism for better builders as soon as we can get that. That'd be really handy. Oh yeah, there's loads of good mountain to the south of me as well, so we've got loads of places to expand if we want. We need to go this way. We do. However, let's quickly just remove the rainforest. Oh dear, Ursa removes rainforest again in a game. And that so rarely happens. We'll get the government plaza down, we'll get the settler building out, and then we'll just go print. Government plaza, nice. There's Ancestral Hall, come on, we've got this now. Washington, you can get the trader and Magnus, get provision on. We're gonna get that building finished, and then we're gonna go settler, and just keep printing them as quick as we can. Okay, this barbarian skirmisher, instead of running off and telling his friends, he's just pillaging me. Don't like that. Go away. Oh, barbarians are just the worst, aren't they? Look at this though. Oh, 6 food, 2 production. It's just the little improvements you can get as the Inca, just on the random tiles. Really handy. Magnus is now making chops twice as effective in my capital. Bam. That'll be really good. This will be a lovely terrace farm. That'll be worth 1, 2, 3 food and 1 production. Just that extra thing. So that'll become a 4-3 tile, I think. See if I'm right. 5-3. Oh, because this is a mountain as well. I only saw 2 mountains. Oh man, that's selective viewing, isn't it? City number 5, by the way. Oh, I'm just going to wait 3 turns if I can. There are barbarians down here, which is a bit of a problem. I would like to get a 3 builder from putting that city down. That would be really good just in this early game growth. Oh, there's a crossbow there. It might see me. I don't know. I think I'm okay for now. You going to do anything? You going to? No, backing off. They're backing off. That's good. 2 era score. Great. I need 3 more era score in this classical era, and I've got my unique improvement I haven't put down yet, so we have options. It's all fine. Also, wouldn't it be really cool if feudalism was boosted by terrace farms? I mean, farm is in the title, you know? Why can't we just say that they're the same thing? Let's get researcher Pingala going. Perfect. This building is now finished. That's wonderful. Once we have mathematics unlocked, I'll get the diplomatic quarter in this city as well, but it's time to settle. Oh, we're gonna settle everywhere. So you know how I keep changing my mind on stuff? We've got 9 turns left of this era, and we're only just picking up the first great writer, but these great writers are the classical era ones. There's 5 of them up for grabs, and they all have 60 points only to get. So in that 9 turns, I'm going to squeeze out 1, 2, 3 of these Theatre Square Festival projects. That should hopefully get another writer for me. Like, I just want to get as many of them as I can. We'll see. We'll see whether it's enough to do anything. I also want to start, apart from Green Inca, I want to be working on my other Incan to Incan relations. Like, for instance, this one expires in 8 turns. It would be good if when that denunciation expires, we were all chill. And the grievances are disappearing now from our initial war. That's looking a little bit tastier, which is great. I want to get positive relations with everybody now. It would help massively. Oh yeah, and actually, look, we can now get our 3 builder from this city, which is wonderful. Charleston. Lovely. You know what, actually, I do need this silver. Man, I have no luxuries whatsoever this game. So, first writer, bam. And as you can see, they're all 60. They're all 60 writer points needed for each one. So, we're just going to pick up as many as we can. In fact, look, 8 turns. I can even squeeze out a project from this city as well. I'm just bringing a little bit of army back to defend myself, just in case Inca decides to go for me. Brown Inca. Shall I just start calling people by their colors? If Brown decides to attack me at the same time as Green, we might find ourselves a little bit split, so that's why I've got some troops back at the moment. First project is now complete. Gives me a big burst of writer points. I think we can probably get maybe, if we can get the second, when the era runs around, the 3rd classical era writer will already be there. If I can pick up the 4th, yeah, there's a difference between getting 3 and 4, and I think actually it's looking okay. This is not too bad for us here. One of the Incans have only just got a pantheon. That's crazy. Weird. Normally you see the AI jumping on faith way quicker than that, but okay, sure, that is absolutely fine. Do not complain, I say. Do not complain. How are luxuries doing now? Nobody's denouncing me for the moment. That's slightly good. I would love it if we got some positive diplomatic relations with people so I could start to really trade with them here. Feudalism. Perfect. Okay, now we can get 2 builders. 2 charges in builders, which is just an improved thing. Settlers, yeah, we're going to switch to that one very, very imminently. 4 turns. This will finish. That'll finish. That'll finish. Okay, everything is due to finish still. That's wonderful. Next up, we just got to rush humanism. So I believe recorded history is the next one. But yeah, this base is not too bad. I would have preferred to be closer to about 100 culture by turn 100. But honestly, we're not doing too badly. I tell you what, though, there is a settler over here that I could steal from Barbarians, which I'm going to very much try and nab quickly. An extra settler. Oh yeah, how am I doing, by the way? 5 cities, population 25. So we've got 631, 734, 629, 734, 730. We are very much in the pack, and we had a bit of a slow start because I did have a bit of a folly war. Folly war is, of course, where the war was a really stupid idea and benefited me not at all. But it's okay. We'll survive that probably. There you go. 2 projects just finished. We can now guess 27 points. Good. That's the second writer. The third one is there. We need 56 points. We're going to get 1 project finished. Oh, this is going to be really close as to whether or not I could squeeze out 1 more project there. It says 4 turns. I don't like that. No, maybe not. We'll switch to settler production, but like this is better. I didn't want to lose too many of these writers, and actually at least we've got 2 of them. Nah, alas, we're going to lose 2 great writers from the game, but you know what? That's fine. We'll find a way. We'll find a way to get more into my empire very soon. I'm very confident of that. Okay, settlers, right. I don't need writer points as desperately now, so I'm going to put the urban planning back in. But we are in a new age. Golden Age, and yes, Green Inca is now in the Dark Age, so we're going to see how much pressure I can apply to them. What would be the best thing to do? Has anyone gone for a religion? Nobody has gone for a religion yet. So, you know what? I'm going to grab one. Exodus of the Evangelists. I will pick up my own religion. If there's none in the game so far, you would be a fool to not just take advantage of that. So that's exactly what we're going to do. Look at that. Beautiful. Our first amphitheater is done as well, so we can start throwing down these great works of writing as well. World Congress time! I would love it if we could build units quicker, just in case. Just in case we need to go to war, and trade routes to military city-states are good because I have a bunch of those. Cultural went through. Hey, cultural is fine. That's not a problem at all. Look at this, the conveyor belt of settlers. It's beginning. I'm about to pick up an armory in my capital as well. Now, an armory is worth 2 production for each city-state I am suzerained with, which is just wonderful. So we'll pick up that, and then I'm going to beeline towards machinery. Not only does it give me my unique unit, but it also goes for Kilwa, and Kilwa is exactly what I want to see. I would like engineering points as well. I mean, there's a lot of stuff I want to do, but we can't get everything all at once. I mean, it would be great if we could. I would approve if we just had everything. But, oh yeah, look, we managed to hunt down the settler. Yes, perfect. I think this settler, yeah, is just going to go straight onto the border with Green Inca. Why not? Let's just be an absolute pain, shall we? Absolute pain. How is the loyalty in their city doing? It is doing interestingly. Look at that already, just with a population 6 and a population 2 city. I'm already beginning to apply pressure to them. It's going to take a lot to flip that, but Washington is growing fast, and if I just focus on the growth in this city, and Charleston as well, I think we can do some spectacular things. So I'm actually going to bring some of my army down south now, because Barbarians are beginning to attack me, and I think it could be a good opportunity to start doing things like bribing and inciting and all of the fun things that you can do with barbarian clans to get myself the Frenemies achievement. So to do that, I have to hire, bribe, incite, and then also get a unit onto it to raid it. So maybe this one is a little bit too advanced, but there's another city-state, another barbarian state over there, which would be much easier to do. So I've kind of got my eye on a few over here. We should be okay. So I did just notice that both Granada and Ngazagami want a horse, so I shall get a horse. Also, this crossbow is highly annoying, but it's okay. We'll just ignore it for a bit. Maybe it'll go away. That's how these things work, right? If you just ignore a problem, it'll stop being a problem. Pretty sure that's the healthy way of dealing with things. One more envoy though in Ngazagamu would be quite useful, but Bologna would give me a lot more great people points. Like a lot more. There's, the Ovid, the classical era. We're now into medieval, so we missed 2 classical great writers. That's fine. Yeah, maybe Bologna would be pretty handy. I think we have to go for as much of an envoy city-state game as we can. This is going to be really important for us. But for now, Ngazagamu, yeah, let's just pick that up. It's another production into my capital. We're on to 30 production here. It's looking good. And I've decided to plonk a new city up on this lake. It's a weird space, but I've got a lot of volcanoes and mountains around here that I can improve, which is going to help a lot. Military engineering. How much niter have we got around our empire? At least some. Okay, so a line infantry attack on this city wouldn't be the worst idea later into the game. We'll keep an eye on that. You never know. Beautiful. Granada is now on side. That's a lovely thing to see, which means we've now got 3, Akkad, Ngazagamu, Granada, all happy to see me. If I can pick up diplomatic quarter and then an armory, we're going to start printing these settlers so quickly. Can't decide what my empire needs more of, though. We've got the theatre squares working relatively hard. I could pick a preserve down. Now that would go boom, 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 and work all of these mountain tiles. That would be quite useful. It's a very, very good terrace farm, but you would instead get quite a few decent mountains around it. It's a difficult trade-off. Or I could get a commercial hub for a bit of gold and another trade route, which would help me to spread my... no, I've just thought about it. Yeah, let's go for a commercial hub. Whatever city-state quests we're going to do. We're actually building a theatre square. I'm building a commercial hub, and an encampment should be relatively easy to do. Don't think anyone's actually getting merchant points. Oh no, somebody's getting merchant points. A few. We could get a great merchant fairly easily. I'm trying my best to do all of these quests today. I think it would really, really help. But I think districts on or next to coast and lake is a good thing, because I've got about 4 or 5 districts there, so that's 53. Look at that, lovely. And I've just met another city-state, Anshan. That is science from great works of writing. Well, that's intriguing. Better get myself divine right and go from that. I'm the only person going for religion still. This is the weird thing about going for like 3 of the same leader, oh sorry, 6 of the same leader. They kind of do exactly the same thing. It's quite funny to watch. I don't know whether to just keep sending these settlers around until I get to where I wanted to go. We could just gun it. Absolutely go through it. I do have a horseman catching them up, so I'm late to the escorting party, but I'm making my way over there, I promise. And finally, a very special shout out goes to Glorious Petra, Matthew Wilkinson, Paul Coffey, Dayboy91, Sean Portland, Scott Stratton, Major King Kong, Devil X, Skeptical Bear, Kroger Brand Trail Mix, Alex Noob, Cinnamon Beard, Petra Ryan, Matthew Hatch, Amiri C, Rom88, Radio Torre, Private Selection, Genoa Salami, Boy Zorro, Callum Billy, Garrett Gowan, Polar Bear Ray, L Truand, Creston, RB Hedge, Mushkin Mandeltort, Esri Dax, Deeble Time, Shoelace, Burial, I'm Daft, Guberman, Clint Hennes. Thank you all for your support. It's amazing. See you all next time. Goodbye.